Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
You're listening to House of Cards.
Today, the game is different.
I want to gamble. Gambling is a very serious business. Is that clear?
Welcome to House of Cards. Dave Weishuttle with you here, deep from the swamps of Jersey. We got a great show coming up for you. Working in the gaming industry, I've been to a lot of conferences, and in my opinion, what makes a conference great is the location and the speakers. By that standard, the conference you're going to hear about is one of the best around. Not only does it have experts in horse racing, sports betting, and the casino industry, but it's going to be held at one of the most beautiful areas in this country. The Racing and Gaming Conference at Saratoga is being held on August 11th through the 13th in Saratoga Springs, New York. To tell us all about this amazing event, we are going to talk with its director, Pat Brown. Pat's going to tell us all about this event that you do not want to miss. So stick around, we'll be right back with House of Cards.
You may want to attend college,
but you have a full-time job and kids that need your full-time attention.
How can you possibly attend college?
You learn online at South University.
Earn your degree while you still earn a paycheck.
Take care of your future while you take care of your children.
Earn your degree any hour, any day, from anywhere.
And the credit transfer policies also make it easier to return to college.
Earn your degree online from instructors who go way beyond the classroom to help their students change their lives.
And help their students change the lives of their children.
Learn online at South University.
Call 800-829-8056.
College is a road to your destination.
And every journey begins with a starting point.
Start from South University online.
The convenience of taking classes where you want.
The flexibility of taking classes when you want.
So you can become who you want.
South University online.
Call 800-829-8056. That's 800-829-8056.
Hey, this is Dave Weishuttle from House of Cards with your House of Cards gaming report for the week of July 14th, 2025. Caesars Entertainment announced the launch of Remote Reels at Tropicana Atlantic City. Remote Reels is an innovative online casino enhancement that connects live slot gameplay from the casino floor inside the Remote Reels studio directly to Caesars Palace Online Casino on your mobile or desktop. The popular online casino influencer Slot Hopper was at the Tropicana Atlantic City to place the ceremonial first spin through their mobile device. The Hollywood Casino brand is undergoing a makeover with a new logo starting with its casinos in Pennsylvania. The Penn Entertainment brand teased the new look on its Instagram, Facebook, and X media accounts, showing a sleeker and skinnier logo. Look for the new brand overhaul in the Keystone State at the Hollywood Casino at Penn National Racecourse, Hollywood Casino Morgantown, and Hollywood Casino York. And finally, happy anniversary to the Nevada Gaming Control Board. In July of 1955, the Nevada legislature established the board to regulate Nevada's gaming industry, and for 70 years they have been doing an incredible job. So from all of us at House of Cards, happy anniversary to the Nevada Gaming Control Board, and here's to another 70 great years. Have any news or tips regarding casinos, gaming, or legislation? Send us an email at newsroom@houseofcardsradio.com and follow us on X at HOC Radio.
You're listening to the House of Cards.
Whoa! I think we got a show.
Oh, yeah, we got a show.
We definitely got a show.
Oh, yeah, there's a show. Hey, it's all about ratings, baby, and we got them.
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishuttle with you. House of Cards is brought to you by BetMGM Casino. Play your favorite casino games at BetMGM Online Casino. Go to BetMGM Casino, create an account using our promo code Turnpike, and become a verified player. New players get $25 free when signing up, plus a first deposit bonus up to $1,000. That's promo code Turnpike at BetMGM.com for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus $25 free. Must be 21 years or older to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Working in the gambling industry, I've been to a lot of gaming conferences, but there's one coming up that I think is really special. Not only does it have the top experts in the gambling field, but it's being held at one of the most beautiful areas in this country. It's called the Racing and Gaming Conference at Saratoga. It's being held on August 11th through the 13th. And we're going to find out all about it because on the line we have the conference's owner and director, Patrick Brown. Pat, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Oh, it's always great having you on. I think it's a yearly event now that we're talking about the conference. But for people who don't know about the conference, the Racing and Gaming Conference at Saratoga is certainly an important conference, not only for horse racing, but for the gaming industry as a whole. Tell us a little bit about the history of the conference, when the conference was first held, and what was the inspiration for its creation?
Well, the conference is over 2 decades old now.
Wow.
Originally it was held by Albany Law School, really for lawyers, and it was a one-day event, and it focused on New York issues and horse racing particularly. Toward the end of the law school's tenure of running the conference, they added another day and more traditional gambling and gaming issues. In 2019, the law school decided that they didn't want to host the conference any longer, and I had been working on the conference as a volunteer for the law school for many years, so I stepped forward. I think back now, probably foolishly, but I stepped forward and said, no, I think I can do this. So I took it over. I took it over in 19. My first official act was to cancel the conference in 2020 because of COVID. We weren't having fans at the racetrack during that meet in 2020, so we didn't hold the conference. But since then, I've been teaming up with the Spectrum Gaming Group, and we've been putting on the conference. This will be our 5th year, and I think we've got it down to a point that works very well. The conference is held in a very nice conference space in the Saratoga Hilton Hotel, and it's 12 panels, horse racing and gaming spread over 3 days. As you said, the August 11th, the 12th, and the 13th this year.
You mentioned Spectrum Gaming, and you certainly have great partners when it comes to this conference, and they're very impressive. I think these are some of the biggest companies in the gaming and horse racing industry. Who are some of your sponsors, and who are some of the people who are partnering with you to do the conference?
Well, we have a real nice mix of sponsors for the conference. We have the stalwarts from New York that sponsored the conference going way back to when it was at the being held by the law school. So my former firm, Brown and Weinraub, has been a sponsor for this conference forever, and Greenberg Traurig and many other New York-based law firms are sponsors. And then we have lots of sponsors coming out of the gaming industry, Light and Wonder, and several others. So we do have a very, very nice mix of people who care about the industry and are interested and think there's value in the conference and are willing to, put some money up to help sponsor it.
And you always have a very impressive list of speakers at the Racing and Gaming Conference at Saratoga. I mean, these are the people in the news, and these are the people who make the policy, and it's just an impressive list of people coming on there and talking at the conference. Can you tell me some of the speakers and presenters that people can hear from the event?
Sure. as I say, we've got 12 panels, and we've got people from the horse racing industry. Gary Contessa, a prominent trainer in Saratoga, will be on the first panel dealing with immigration issues, which is going to be a very interesting conversation, very important issue confronting both the horse racing and the gaming industry. I mean, the service workers in the hotel and casino industry are impacted by immigration policies. We have on the OTB panel, very interesting group. We have the directors of 3 of the 4 OTBs operating in New York. Phil Boyle from Suffolk, Byron Brown, former mayor of Buffalo, who's now the director of the Western OTB, will be joining us. And John Signor from Capital. We have legislators from around the country coming. We have a specific panel on legislation that's hot in different areas of the country. So we have folks from California, Louisiana, New Jersey, Florida. But I have to mention my New York legislators for sure.
Absolutely.
Joe Adabo, senator and chair of the Racing and Gaming Committee in the New York State Senate, is a perennial participant in the conference, always brings a sharp and insightful discussion when he comes. We've had Gary Pretlow, who was the assembly chair for many, many years. And Gary has moved up and become the chair of the Ways and Means Committee in the Assembly. So we have a new chair of the Racing and Wagering Committee. And her name is Carrie Warner. She happens to represent Saratoga, so she's no stranger to the conference. And I really look forward to hearing from Carrie because, she's a fresh blood in the New York State Legislature, and we want to hear what she's got to say. We have lots of prominent lawyers from around the country because we're talking about some really serious legal issues. We're dealing with decoupling in Florida. What a big deal. We're dealing with a seemingly insignificant issue, but what could become a very significant issue, dealing with where a sports bet is made from a legal point of view. Seems very esoteric, but if you think about it, it's dependent on where the bet is made. It will determine which state's laws apply to the wager. And there's a big controversy out in Michigan. We've got some very knowledgeable attorneys who can talk about that. And I want to say that this is an example of trying to appeal to the lawyers who are really the base of the people who come to the conference, but also making the panel and the discussion accessible to non-lawyers. And this issue, although it can kind of get technical and legal, is really of significance to everybody. Everybody who bets on sports should be interested in how this thing gets resolved. So that's a few of the folks we're having.
Okay, hold that thought. We're going to take a quick break. See you on the other side.
Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024, the Audion Atom 2 series offers superior sound quality and functionality for a fraction of the price. For just $189 a pair, the Atom 2 features 4 different hearing modes for all types of hearing loss. It packs crystal clear sound, a nearly invisible design, and is even rechargeable.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids. They're so comfortable, I forget I'm wearing them. And the sound is amazing.
The Atom Pro 2 is our smallest hearing aid yet, featuring advanced background noise cancellation, and is the world's first hearing aid with built-in UV cleaning that kills 99% of bacteria.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed without seeing a doctor or having a hearing test.
Join over 500,000 happy customers today and get the hearing you deserve.
Call 1-800-457-0924 or go to audionhearing.com to get your pair of Audion hearing aids starting at just $189.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready. And health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, give us a call at 800-733-6860. 800-733-6860.
You're listening to House of Cards.
I'm talking sick piles of money. I'm talking lay on your bed in your Vegas room, throw the money in the air, and dance as it showers down on you money. I'm talking frosted glass limo money. I'm talking big cowboy hat, silver turquoise buckle money. I'm talking gambling.
I am in love with you.
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishottle with you. For those of you just joining us, I am talking with Pat Brown, the director of the Racing and Gaming Conference at Saratoga on August 11th through the 13th. Those are some topics that, by the way, I don't hear in other conferences across the country. I was talking to you off air about some of the panels you were having and some of the topics you were covering, and I think it's great because it's something you don't hear in other conferences. And I love the fact that you said, yeah, certainly as a lawyer, you're going to get something out of it and get something important out of it. But even non-lawyers will gain some knowledge on this. And if you have an interest in the gaming and horse racing industry, this conference is certainly for you because it's accessible. I mean, the speakers are so good that, you know, people who without a legal background or without business background will understand it. Was that a conscious effort made by you to make it accessible to everyone?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I before I did this conference, I practiced law for almost 45 years, and I've since retired from my firm. But one of my key objectives in this conference is to give C-suite business owners and managers enough information about important topics so that when their lawyers are talking to them, they have an understanding of what these issues are about. And I think that's very, very important. So we do try to appeal to the legal community. As I say, that's our base.
Sure. But
we really want to make the panels hopeful and of value to the folks in the industry, both the horse racing industry and the gaming industry more broadly.
I want to ask you about some of the panels that you're having at the conference. And I got to tell you, you're starting off with a panel dealing with a topic that's in the news a lot nowadays, and that's something that affects all businesses in this country. And the panel is entitled Racing Ahead, Immigration Policy and the Future of the Hospitality Industry, Horse Racing, and Casino Labor. Tell us about that panel and how you are seeing the issue of immigration affecting the racing and gaming industry in this country.
Well, it doesn't take a genius to know that the horse racing industry cannot function without an efficient backstretch. Without the people on the backstretch grooming and hot walking the horses and taking care of the horses, there can be no races. It's just simple as that. And the fact is that those jobs are held by immigrants. There is really no debating that. So the question that confronts the industry is, how do we get the industry in line with the new administration's immigration policies? Now, I'm not an expert on immigration law. We have an expert on immigration law on this panel who's going to give kind of a broad overview. But we do have people in the industry. I mean, Gary Contessa, as a trainer, has to contend with this immigration issue on a daily basis. He has to keep his workforce in place, in compliance, so that they can do their job. And when the rules continually change and evolve, as they are, it's a real challenge. And this is going to be a really interesting discussion about the legal matter of immigration, but also the practicality in the horse racing industry of compliance. And as I mentioned earlier, I think it also impacts the service industry. It's not just horse racing. There are, hotels and casinos that have very large immigration, portions of their employee base that are immigrants. And this is going to be an issue for them as well.
Now, another panel you're having at the Racing and Gaming Conference at Saratoga is the subject that on the East Coast, there's been news reports constantly. And I think I ask you this question every year. So, and that's about the New York City area casinos. You'll hear New York downstate casinos, a lot of people call it. And the name of that panel is New York Panel Morning Line on Downstate Licenses. And as we're talking right now, what is the status of the casino industry coming to the New York City area? I know some plans were withdrawn, other plans, like a proposed casino near Citi Field where the Mets play, seem to be moving right along. What is the status of those plans right now? And when do you think we'll see licenses start being awarded?
Well, this issue has been a subject of the conference almost every year.
I think I ask you about it every year. If you, I guess if you want to see the evolution of this subject, listen to our conversations, I guess.
Yeah. So over a decade ago, New York changed its constitution to allow for casinos. And in that time, 4 casinos have been licensed and built and are operational in upstate New York, leaving 3 licenses available for downstate. And Governor Cuomo at the time and the legislature decided, we're going to give the upstate casinos a head start and let them get established. And then we'll turn our attention to the New York City area and deal with casinos there. There was obviously a lot of politics in that decision way back when, but that's the decision that was made. So now we are in this contest that has been going on 3 years now. It's been going on about who's going to get licensed to operate a casino in the New York City area, where those casinos going to be located, and what's the tax rate going to be? You know, all of these very, very important questions. And remarkably, after 3 years, the bids are in. They were all submitted last Friday, June 27th, and they were from several boroughs in New York City and one bid from Westchester. 2 bids that weren't made were from 2 titans in the industry, not only titans in the gaming industry, but titans in the real estate industry in New York City, because these projects are a combination of these massive corporations that are both gaming and real estate. But the wind project on the west side of Manhattan was withdrawn, and they did not make a bid. They did not feel they could get the local support, and so they withdrew. And the Sands, Las Vegas Sands, had a project out in Nassau County, a county adjacent to the city of New York on Long Island, and they too withdrew and said they would not bid. And so we kind of whittled down the list of bidders. And then there was a project at Saks Fifth Avenue in Midtown Manhattan that, frankly, I never thought was going to go anywhere. And they too withdrew. So now we have 8. Mm-hmm. We have the 2 who I call incumbents. They are the MGM facility in Yonkers, New York. There is the Resorts World and the Genting VLT facility at Aqueduct in Queens. And then there are 6 new shooters, 3 in Manhattan. You have Caesars at Times Square. You have Rush Street with the real estate company Silverman on the west side, and you have Mohegan Sun Mohegan on the east side by the UN. Mm-hmm. And then you have the City Field, the Steve Cohen project in Queens. You have a project on Coney Island. You have Bally's in the Bronx. So that about covers it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really moving right along. I mean, stick around. We'll be right back with more House of Cards. Sign up at jackpot.com and you can bet on the world's best lotteries where the biggest jackpots are up for grabs. Powerball, Mega Millions, some of the biggest lotteries can be found at jackpot.com. Simply choose your lotto game, pick your numbers, or use their quick pick feature, and you're done. Sign up at jackpot.com with code DRAW24 and get a free lottery ticket with your first deposit. Jackpot.com, it's the world of lotto in your hand. Terms and conditions apply. You must be at least 18 years old and in the United States to play. Void where prohibited. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
With costs going up, Adam and Eve is the best deal around. With 50% off a sexy adult product at adamandeve.com. That's 50% off right now when you point the camera on your smartphone at the code on the screen. Don't get up. Just open your camera and point it at the screen. Hurry! You'll also get 10 free gifts, including free discreet shipping at checkout. This is your chance to get more for less. So scan now for 50% off plus 10 free gifts from adamandeve.com.
You're listening to the House of Cards.
Is that good? Do I want that?
Oh, yeah, you want that.
Well, fantastic then.
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishuttle with you. For those of you just joining us, I am talking with Pat Brown, the director of the Racing and Gaming Conference at Saratoga on August 11th through the 13th. Now, I asked you about another panel, and I talked to you about this off air. I mean, that it really caught my eye, and that's a panel on off-track betting in an expanding gambling market. I got to be honest, I haven't thought about off-track betting too much and what their future is like, and it's really interesting to me to think about it. I mean, being a kid and visiting New York City, I always used to see the OTB storefronts in Manhattan, and it really made me think about it when I looked at the schedule of the panels you had. What is the future of off-track betting, and what challenges do they face moving forward in this online world?
Well, I'll tell you, it makes me feel old. I can remember when off-track betting was the innovation that was threatening the industry. Like, how are we going to survive allowing people to bet and not going to the track to bet? And, those policy questions were argued and thrashed about for years in the 70s and into the 80s, frankly. And now the off-track betting concept is old. It's almost musty. It's over 50 years old, and all of these new gambling and opportunities for consumers that have come in the last decade. And of course, the technology that now allows you to sit in your living room and bet on your computer and your phone. Off-track was, an innovation, now has matured to a place where it has to find a new niche, or it's not going to survive. And if you look at the off-track betting corporations in New York, the two that are not only surviving but doing well are Suffolk and Western, and they both have machines. They both have VLTs where their revenue is supplemented by VLT revenue. The off-track that is really has just the horse racing and is still standing and is still, I would say, strong as Capital. But how long can that last? When they are in a pool of gaming opportunities and they are very limited in what they can offer, and very restrictive regulations. The horse racing industry made sure that off-track were restricted in what they could offer and when and all that, because they were protecting their own customer base at the time. So lots of big decisions need to be made about off-track in New York. And I think this applies in other states as well, by the way. It's not just a New York issue. But I will say this. Off-track betting has a history of gambling in different parts of the state. They are accepted by the local community as places where people can go and gamble. So that is a huge advantage. We watched in New York City all of the struggles of these casino companies trying to get permission by the locals to have casinos, and it's been very, very difficult. It would be a shame to throw away these opportunities that the off-track betting folks have. It's just a question of redefining what they can offer, seems to me.
Another huge issue in the racing industry, and one that you mentioned already, is the issue of decoupling or separating horse racing and gaming licenses. We're seeing that right now in Florida, which has been in the news a lot lately. Is this issue specific to Florida? Do other states have to deal with this issue of decoupling? I know New Jersey right now has a bill for slots and table games at the 2 racetracks in the state. Will decoupling be an issue for states other than Florida?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is going to be an issue, or potentially an issue, in any state where the horse racing industry is tied to the licenses for other forms of gaming. Usually it's either casino licenses or VLT licenses. So it will be an issue in New York. Maybe not next year. Maybe it'll be a while. But again, it makes me feel old because I remember the discussion, and I was kind of in the middle of the discussion when I worked in the first Cuomo administration, back when dinosaurs roamed the earth. There was a real debate in the horse racing industry at the beginning of, should we become captive to the revenue from a non-horse racing source? And there were really serious arguments about whether this was the right direction for the industry to go. And we know the answer. The answer is every horse racing venue that could took advantage of getting the revenue stream from these non-horse racing gambling opportunities, casino gaming, VLTs. So, and now the question is, has that run its course? The industry, of course, says, hey, you wouldn't have a casino license if it weren't for us. And for the most part, that's true. And the casino industry is saying, enough's enough. We've been subsidizing. That's a word that the horse racing industry hates, but that's the word that the casino industry uses. We've been subsidizing and carrying horse racing long enough. We have our own problems, and we need to keep this revenue in-house. So, yeah, unbelievably important issue. And, the fact is purses have gone up and up and up because of revenue coming from casinos and VLTs. Is that sustainable as a business model?
Now, one panel that had me very intrigued is entitled The Triple Crown and Fractured Leadership in the Industry. And this is what I talk about is you have panels and you talk about topics that no other conferences talk about. And I love it. And this brings up an issue that I've been thinking about and I've talked about on air a couple of times and a couple of weeks ago. And that is it the best possible thing for the horse racing industry to have the 3 Triple Crown races in a relatively short period of time? What will that panel be discussing, and what is the issue with regard to the scheduling of the Triple Crown races?
Well, it's kind of the Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth argument from back in the day. When you change the schedule, do the records mean as much and all of that? And one of the major arguments to keep the Triple Crown schedule as it is the argument that this is a test of will and endurance, and only the greatest horses can possibly rise to the top and be Triple Crown winners because the races are held so close together. Mm-hmm. So if you start spreading them out, if you start changing the distances, you dilute the importance of the Triple Crown, and that would be a mistake. Now, there are traditionalists throughout the industry who will make that argument much better than I just did, and that's that's the point. On the other hand, horse racing has to recognize that it doesn't exist in a vacuum any longer. It used to be the Triple Crown races were the only sporting event in those weeks and months that people cared about.
Sure.
Now that's simply not the case. There are so many opportunities for sports fans to do something else, right? Mm-hmm. And to be interested in something else, that now the horse racing industry needs to fit their schedule into a broader schedule because of all of these challenges. So that'll be one of the things that people talk about. Then you have the question of, is it damaging the horses? Is it too much? We have better science. We have better, veterinary understanding of the physiology of the horse and all of this. So you have these arguments about taking a still maturing racehorse and putting him through that kind of test. Does it damage the horse? Now, a lot of traditionalists will laugh at that and say, Secretariat did just fine running the Triple Crown and thereafter. But, there's only one Secretariat. So you have to kind of look at whether you're damaging the horse population in having the races so close together. And then I'll end on this point. This issue is really kind of an existential issue to the horse racing industry. It's fundamental to get the Triple Crown right. It's the biggest days. It's the biggest event other than the Breeders' Cup. And what you see is there's no centralized leadership in the industry to work out a process by which you can decide this issue. And that's really the point as far as I'm concerned. There's no commissioner. There's no NBA commissioner. There's no Major League Baseball commissioner. There's no horse racing commissioner or commission that's nationwide that says this is how we ought to think about resolving this question. So,
okay, hold that thought. We're going to take a quick break. See you on the other side.
going up, Adam and Eve is the best deal around. With 50% off a sexy adult product at adamandeve.com. That's 50% off right now when you point the camera on your smartphone at the code on the screen. Don't get up. Just open your camera and point it at the screen. Hurry! You'll also get 10 free gifts, including free discreet shipping at checkout. This is your chance to get more for less. So scan now for 50% off plus 10 free gifts from adamandeve.com.
You're listening to House of Cards. Check us out at houseofcardsradio.com.
We must get her back. I'll be satisfied if we get her half back.
I'll take a quarterback. In fact, I'll take Notre Dame in 2 points.
Oh, you want 2 points?
I certainly do.
Well, you got 'em.
Oh!
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishottle with you here. House of Cards is brought to you by BetMGM Casino. Play your favorite casino games at BetMGM Online Casino. Go to BetMGM Casino, create an account using our promo code Turnpike, and become a verified player. New players get $25 free when signing up, plus a first deposit bonus up to $1,000. That's promo code Turnpike at BetMGM.com for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus $25 free. Must be 21 years or older to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. For those of you just joining us, I am talking with Pat Brown, the director of the Racing and Gaming Conference at Saratoga on August 11th through the 13th. I want to ask you about a topic that you brought up earlier and that you're going to be tackling during the conference, and that is advanced deposit wagering, which is a very big topic in the gaming world. For everyone out there, what are advanced deposit wagering? What is the issue with ADWs, and how do you think this issue will be handled by the states and probably more likely by the federal courts? Where is this country headed with regard to advanced deposit wagering?
Well, unlike going to your favorite bookie down the block, when you're betting legally on sports, you have to have the money in the bank. You have to have the money in place in the sports books accounts. You can't call up and say, give me $20 on the Knicks, and then, I'll pay you if I lose, which is the model when you have a bookie. So the advanced deposit is just that. If you want to bet with FanDuel, Caesar, any of them, you have to put money in an account, and then you bet against that account. That leads to all kinds of regulatory and legal implications, like where does the money go? Who holds it? When do they have to pay it out? All of these kind of questions. So every state that allows sports wagering, and wagering on horses, by the way, because ADW also applies in the horse racing business.
Sure.
Every state has a set of regulations that you have to comply with. So what happened in Michigan has a real impact on both the horse racing industry and the broader sports betting industry. And it's a very simple question that you would think there's an answer to. And that is, where is a bet made from a legal point of view? Mm-hmm. Because where the bet is made will dictate which state's laws apply to that particular bet. So, there's options, right? The bet could be made where I'm on my computer and I hit send. The bet could be made where the server is located. After I hit send, it goes to a server somewhere, and the bet is accepted by the sportsbook. It could be both states. maybe have to comply with both the laws of both states. And right now, there isn't a definitive answer to that question. So what happened in Michigan is the Michigan Commission said you can't make sports wagers because we don't have any tracks running, and that's required by Michigan law. And a ADW service, Twin Spires, said, no. The bet is made where our servers are located, and our servers are located in Oregon, and Oregon says it's just fine for us to accept sports wagers from people from Michigan. So the commission said, no, you're out, you can't do it, and a federal court has said, no, Twin Spires is right. The bet is the laws of Oregon apply here, not the laws of Michigan.
I can absolutely see this subject being taught in the future for civil procedure classes in law school because, just when you thought that was, I just got in personam jurisdiction, right? Now you have this stuff coming out. Now I don't know what to do. But I got to tell you, one of the great things about the Racing and Gaming Conference at Saratoga is the historic Saratoga racetrack, and it's right there. Tell us something about this incredible track, and if the conference is doing anything or holding any events at the location during the conference.
Sure. Well, the Saratoga racetrack is the longest running, continuously running sporting venue in the United States. 1863. It was built in the middle of the Civil War when horse racing was not legal in the state by a man named Morrissey, who happened to be a state senator. So it gives you a little bit of flavor for how this thing came about. Morrissey was an unbelievable bare-fisted boxer, and just what a character. So anyway, the venue has been around forever, and it just is fantastic and beautiful. Fantastic in the way of just a beautiful setting, and it's maintained to really provide an attractive venue to all sorts of people, not just horse racing fans. The backside of of where the customers go is like a park. The clubhouse is, as I say, parts of it built in 1863. Really remarkable. So even if you don't know anything about horses or don't care about betting on horses, go to the racetrack. Just to go to the racetrack. Absolutely. It's fantastic. And then Saratoga itself is an incredibly historic and beautiful little city. And we have we're not all legal matters and drudgery here. We have some fun too at this conference, and we have a big party on opening night at the Adelphi Hotel in downtown Saratoga. The Adelphi is iconic. It's been around since I think the 1880s, if I'm not mistaken. And it was just rebuilt and refurbished, and it's really something. And the one thing I'll say about the Adelphi is this is the place where Mark Twain sat out on the porch and edited and finished Ulysses Grant's autobiography when Grant was too sick to finish it. And then after writing for a while, would step up to the bar and regale people at the bar with his stories. Now, how could you not want to go to a place like that?
Wow, that's just great.
Yeah, it's just incredible history there. So we have a big party there. We have a smaller, happy hour type thing at the hotel on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday afternoon we go to the races. Of course.
Nice.
So we'll take in the races on Wednesday at the Saratoga racetrack. So.
Pat, we're running out of time, but if someone wants to get involved and attend the Racing and Gaming Conference at Saratoga, what's the website they go to, and how do they sign up to attend the event?
Everything's on the website. It's www.racingandgamingsaratoga.com, and click on register, click on you can book a hotel room. We have a block of hotel rooms, although that's going to be running out here pretty soon, so do it quickly. That's where you find the whole agenda is there, and all the events, and also where you can pay to register.
Pat Brown, thanks so much for coming on and telling us all about the Racing and Gaming Conference at Saratoga, which is being held on August 11th through the 13th, and you can check that out at racingandgamingsaratoga.com. It sounds like it's going to be an incredible event, so anyone who's interested in horse racing, sports betting, and in the gaming industry in general should check it out. Pat, thanks so much for coming on and telling us all about it.
Well, thanks for having me. I enjoyed it very much.
Well, that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time with House of Cards.
Drag a spiraling chain across the desert plain. You build a house of cards around a loveless heart. Wild country in your head, gone dead, riverbed.